Albright. Welcome to the DE 24/7 podcast. I'm here today with Oleg Shilovitsky, the co-founder and CEO of OpenBOM, and we're going to be talking about data management today. Welcome to the program, Oleg.
Thank you, Brian. Pleasure to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
Great. Well, the first thing I wanted to ask about is that a lot of engineering organizations are using Excel to do data management. So, what are some of the signs that maybe these organizations might need to move away from Excel?
Sure. Excel it's the by default choice for everyone, and it's historically happened many times because engineers feel very comfortable with Excel. And they think Excel. I'm usually saying that if I have a problem and I give this problem to engineers, in 20 minutes they will come back with Excel. So that's how they think. So the challenge of engineers moving from Excel and the challenge of organization moving data management from Excel is that the time and effort they need to rethink the paradigm. So that's something that usually prevents company from moving. That's one thing. And the second thing is that it's the education and understanding. They need to change the way they manage data. Because for many of them, they don't put enough thinking how important data management and how important to get data managed properly in the organization. So I think those are two things. Effort to go through, to wrap their head around the entire concept. And second is the organizational strategy, just to get rid of Excels and properly manage data and information.
Well, for organizations that want to make that transition away from Excel, what sorts of things should they really be looking for in a new platform? And I guess what kind of preparatory work should they be doing?
Sure. Now, if a company is coming to OpenBOM and they think about how moving away from Excel, they do 3 steps. So first, they need to kind of classify their information. So the information they have, how to organize this information in OpenBOM, and this is very simple. We provide an easy tool to create this data. Basically, we adopted Excel paradigm of thinking in Excel. So we create data management and we manage data, but it looks and feels like Excel. And the ease of this, it's very, very, very very helpful for users. So the second thing is that they need to get their data. So they need to understand what they have, because as I always say, if you have a mess, don't bring computers because you will have a computerized mess. So first clean the mess and then bring computers. So that's something that every company should do. So they need to gather all the information, all the sources of data they might have. It may be some emails, it can be some Excels, multiple Excels, and some other databases and data sources. So they need to get around this. They need to organize and think how they will store data. And last but not least, OpenBOM gives out-of-the-box tool to import data from Excel. So just to run these tools, it's a very flexible and easy-to-use tools. So it doesn't require any programming. So you just import existing Excels and OpenBOM organize data.
All right. So for companies making that transition, then, are there some best practices that they can follow for kind of getting out of those Excel-based habits and really moving toward actual data management processes?
Sure. So what we usually do for companies, we help them to understand how to model information about products. So some best practices about what is the item, how to manage catalogs of items, what is the purpose of item, how to manage revisions, how to create bill of materials, so how to model different elements of the product, how to get around and model multidisciplinary data representation, because products are also mechanical, electrical, software. So how to model this information. It usually requires some best practices of how to organize this information, but it's relatively easy. We provide tools and we provide educational resources, webinars, and trainings. So altogether, it helps people to understand how to manage data properly.
Can you give me some examples of how your company has helped customers kind of work through those processes?
Sure. Let me bring one example is the company that develop agricultural robots. So by itself, very fascinating technology. It's a robot that has a hand that can go in the apple tree and pick up the right apple. So the robot contains about 16,000 parts, and they've been managing bill of materials using Excel. But the biggest problem they had, it was no possibility to gather all information and bring it together to analyze. And OpenBOM helped them to do it. Also, from a standpoint of gathering this information from CAD system, they're using SolidWorks, and then organizing this information and analyzing this information. So first, and it's probably the simplest first task that OpenBOM gives you, is to roll up cost for entire product. But then what this company did is that they analyze bill of materials, analyze usage of the parts, and they optimize the part usage because they found the similar parts that they use in different parts of the products that never came together because without OpenBOM, they didn't combine all these units together in a single place that can tell you, oh, those are similar parts. You probably can unify and replace them. So altogether, it gave them more control. That's one outcome. The second, then allowed them to optimize actually part usage and take cost down. And the third and most important that even they didn't expect to have is that OpenBOM sharing capabilities allowed to make BOM visible and transparent to all team members, not only in engineering, but also in procurement, also in management, which gave a tremendous improvement in efficiency of communication and processes in the company. So I can bring more examples, but this is one of the recent ones, and it's highlighted three important OpenBOM capabilities. The first is to extract data seamlessly from different data sources. Second, to manage and control data, giving ability to analyze information. So it turns data into information. And last but not least, sharing data transparently in the organization to improve processes.
I did want to ask, do you see any trends occurring among the providers of the data source systems, the tools that the engineers are using that are helpful in making this sort of data management transition, or that things that could be happening that might make them more helpful in making these transitions? Or, is the way the tool works, does it not matter, I guess, what kind of solutions they're using on the front end?
Well, it's a great question. There are better tools these days, and those are usually coming more from the new cloud-based technologies, because those technologies are better serving for data openness, for standards, and also for the technical capabilities to make data transparent. So the industry standards like REST API are available in all web tools. Again, some of them provide it, some of them don't, but that's a separate question. But the tools are there, and the web tools usually provide more visibility. Existing tools, it depends. But this is a place where we come in to help. So OpenBOM integrated with all engineering tools, all design CAD systems, so we can extract data seamlessly from all CAD, mechanical CAD, electronic CAD, also Excels. So yeah, in some places it's better, in some places it's still old technologies. Many engineering software was developed like 20, 30 years ago, still running a lot in production, and this is one of the challenges.
All right. Well, that's all the questions I had today, Oleg. Thank you very much for joining us.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you for inviting me. And you always can learn more about OpenBOM online at openbom.com.